There we go. Had a little computer phone issue this morning getting on here. Instagram didn't want to let me come on and play. Anyway, welcome to Thursday's random readings, and I am Marilyn, the PNW High Priestess. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Happy holidays to all of you. Ryder, good morning. How is the tarot going? I'm going to be sending out some more, so I'm going to keep you in mind. Welcome to today. And today we are not only going to draw some tarot, but I got to tell you, I am wiped out right now. It's almost like I'm coming down off of a planetary high today. It is insane. I sat on the couch earlier and I didn't want to get up, and I woke up this morning and oh good, I'm glad. I woke up this morning and then I decided to take a after I woke up nap. So then I went back to bed. Weird, right? Anywho, happy holidays. Welcome. Thank you for joining me today. We've got, I'm going to do tarot cards and messages and all that. But one of the things that I want to do first is I want to draw a little card. These are little angel oracle cards, and they're from the Healing Angel Cards deck. And it's loving guidance from the angels. And normally, oh, your Jupiter return is happening right now. Right now! Welcome to that. Normally, after I do readings for people, public, I draw one of these cards for them. And it's, you know, like the angels are listening to our conversation because they pretty much verify the reading that the person received. So after today, we are going to draw one of these to find out what messages our angels have to tell us for this coming holiday, because next week I'll be on too, I think. If it's not, well, it's not like I'm going out for New Year's Eve, so I'll most definitely be on next week. And then we can do a New Year's reading, so that'll be fun. All right, let me just shuffle these guys up really quick. I'm going to draw a card in the beginning from my Tarot Illuminati. And these cards that I draw in the beginning are kind of like the querent cards that people put down sometimes. Hello, Care Bear. They're kind of like the querent cards that people put down sometimes to resonate with the person they're reading for. They're querent. So what I do with these is I draw a card and it kind of directs the conversation and the message of universe for the day. So here we go. Let's see. All right. Okay, so today's messages probably are, yeah, let's see. Messages. Oh, yeah, okay. So I wrote this message down before I got this message, and this message is messages we put into the universe. So the Eight of Swords here, number one, your swords are your air. They are your intellect. They are your ideas. They are your communication, your expression. And, you know, moving into this Aquarian age, you know, that all that expansiveness happening right now, the Eight of Swords comes into play because she reminds us that sometimes we allow ourselves to be stuck in certain spaces, places with people, even though we know that we have the power to break those cords and those chains. Sometimes we allow ourselves to stay there. So, one of the things that I want everyone to consider over this holiday season and into this beautiful shadow time that we're going into is, what areas of your life are you allowing yourself to be trapped in, to be stuck in, due to fear of non-movement, or fear of moving forward, fear of what might be on the other side of that release, things like that. When she comes into play, she tells me that it's time to take those blinders off, and it's time to realize your own power, and it's time to express your own power, and it's time to realize that you don't need anybody to come in and save you. You are your own savior, and you have the power to get out of whatever predicament you feel as though is entrapping you right now. Okay? So, the messages today are pretty much going to be about, that feeling of being trapped, that fear of moving forward, things like that, all right? And they're also going to be about messages that we put into the universe. What are we putting into the universe? I mean, when you have the swords coming into play, that's also spiritual communication, that ancestry communication. What are we putting into the universe? What kind of words are we putting into the universe? Is it like exactly what I did? Oh my gosh, I'm so tired today. Or is it, oh my gosh, I've been having so much fun, I might need a nap today so I can have more. Something like that. So we have to really think about the words that we put into the universe, because universe can hear. And if we say things like, oh, I'm never going to get out of this, or I can't see my way out of this, something like that, universe is going to hear that, and that's what we draw in. And we have to really start thinking about ways that we can rephrase what we are saying, rephrase what we are thinking. And I know that, sometimes it's like, oh my God, this positivity, but I'm telling you, it doesn't have to be all about positivity and light. It just needs to be about rephrasing what it is you're saying, because at that time too, then you get to acknowledge what is really going on, right? Because you're kind of rethinking stuff. And a lot of times when you're acknowledging it, then you say, oh, okay, I'm not trapped here. I'm not stuck in this. I totally have the ability to get out. Oh my gosh, why was I so scared? Why did I hold myself back? Allow yourself to keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Okay, so whoever has questions, please place them in the comment area. I can see those so much better than those little question boxes. Hello, Jersey girl. And as you guys put your questions into the comment area, I'm just going to take a nice deep breath and allow myself to ground with my cards. And I'll be right back. One of the ways that I do this and call in the gray, the balance, the between, is that first breath that I take in, I guide all the way down my spine into the coccyx, all the way into that tip. And then I allow that root to connect into the ground, allowing the darkness of earth, the shadow area of earth, Mother Gaia, to come back up through that root. And then the next breath I take, nice deep breath, I take that root, that darkness, and I take it all the way up through, out of the crown chakra, and allow it to go all the way up into the sky, into the light, connecting with that light. The next deep breath in allows both of those energies to come back into play, twirling and swirling and turning into gray. And in the heart space, that's where they'll stay. for just a moment until I say they can go away. All right. Okay. Thank you, my beautiful cards. Okay, let's see. Okay, Miss Corey. I'd love a Jupiter card. What does he want me to know? What does he want you to know? Well, first of all, remember, take that into play. There's something that that you're keeping yourself from expressing, from doing. And for you, you're so creative. You're so creative. Think about that. What does he want you to, what does he want to tell you? Okay, so, you know, he comes into play, and the word that he's bringing me is bereavement. And when we think about bereavement, we think about mourning, right? And so when your Jupiter is coming back into play, I mean, that's, you know, your planet of fortune. And, you know, when we talk about the word bereavement, we talk about that mourning process that needs to happen, so that way we can kind of finally release something, right? We can't really finally release something unless we allow ourselves to mourn it. So if you feel as though this shadow time is your time to kind of sit back and allow yourself to acknowledge the things that it's time to release, allow yourself to acknowledge that rebirth of yourself into, you know, free light. I think that's definitely what he's trying to tell you. There is a mourning process that's going to be happening if it's not already happening. But embrace it. Don't be fearful of it. Embrace it. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. So today, your card is the Justice card. And when she comes into play, she is that balance, okay? She is that gray that comes in. She is the balance of light and dark. When we embrace that darkness that lives within us, it is such a magical moment. Sometimes we don't realize how much fear we have had to overcome to embrace that darkness that lives within us. We've been taught so much that, you know, shadow is scary and darkness is bad and all of these things, but it's not. The darkness within us is one of the most beautiful aspects of us that we keep hidden. And, you know, when justice comes out to play and Jupiter's giving you these messages to really find that balance that you are looking for, it's almost like that light within you needs to, like the yin and yang, needs to infuse with the darkness within you as well. Go through the process of mourning, releasing the things that no longer feed your best and highest good, for sure. But go into it knowing that however dark it gets, however dark you may feel, sadness and things like that, however afraid you may feel, there is always light. There is always, always light being infused in there. And just sit in that quiet for a minute. Embrace that quiet within. Okay, I hope that resonates. All right, Rider. General card would be fabulous. Whatever messages come. Let's see. Okay, so for you, Rider, there not only a word came into play, but like a visual came into play. And the word that came into play is relinquish. And as I was seeing or hearing this word, it kind of works both ways, I physically saw you putting down a shield and a sword, all right? Maybe laying down your barriers, your walls, allowing your wall to open up. Coming into a time where there's a little bit more trust from you for the outside world, allowing yourself to see reality for a little bit different than you saw it before, maybe. Allowing you to be a little bit more vulnerable. Putting down those arms. Not completely transferring your power or giving your power to anyone else, but knowing that you have that power within you and you can make the choice to also allow yourself to be reached by others. Okay. All right. So the Six of Wands comes into play for you today, my darling. And that wands, it's all about that change. It's all about that fire. That passion, that sunshine, that light that lives within us, transformation, that fire comes into the forest and burns down what needs to be burnt down, and then new trees are allowed to grow because the sun finally hits them. And when the Six of Swords comes into play, that's that spotlight. That is that taking that step forward and allowing yourself to be in the spotlight, whether it be in the spotlight of, like a relationship or something like that. I'm not sure of that, but you are allowing yourself to be seen and to be in the spotlight. This is part of your transformation, and part of that being in the spotlight is allowing ourselves to be vulnerable, because we know that people can say anything that they want to. Right? So allowing ourselves to be vulnerable is a huge overcoming of fear and taking that step into that spotlight so we can recognize not only the external beauty of ourselves, but recognize that internal beauty of ourselves. Even those things that we need to change within ourselves are beautiful because it's that recognition, it's that acknowledgement of them. So allow yourself to come out into the spotlight. Allow yourself to be seen. Lay down those arms. Bring down those walls just a little bit and receive. Receive that attention. Receive that adoring love. Okay? All right. Okay. Miss Jersey girl. Will I find the success, happiness, and financial wealth and stability in 2021? Well, the first question I would ask you regarding that is, what are you doing to take that path towards it? That's the first question that we need to ask ourselves. When we come to a crossroads like that, where we are wondering, okay, to get to my happiness, to get to my stability, which is root chakra. I mean, that's foundational stuff. To get to the stability in my life, whether that be financial wealth, whether that be happiness, whether that be our perception of abundance, success, things like that, the stability is really what you are longing for, that foundational healing for you, that root chakra healing for you, okay? So part of that healing process is recognizing this is your path. It's nobody else's. This is your path. You have the power to lay down the concrete, to lay down the pavers, to do things like that. This is your path and your power. So to get to this stability, what are the first steps you're going to take to help root yourself and heal that root chakra? Okay. All right. There are some mundane tasks that are happening in your life, and you're getting quite bored of them. That's the word that came up, is mundane. Getting quite bored of the everyday doing the same flip and thing, right? Change that shit up, girl. Change it up. You don't have to do the same damn thing every day. Do it naked. Do something like that. You know what I'm saying? Have fun. With even the same things that we do, we can change up the times that we do them. We can change up the amount of times that we do them. We can change up how we're doing them. They don't have to be mundane. And part of the stability thing that's going on with you is the fact that it's very hard to be okay with thinking that our stability revolves around the same fucking thing every day. And you need to know that only you can change that. Only you can change that. Nobody else can change it, just you. That's part of healing that root chakra as well. So bring in that sacral chakra too. Bring in that sexual chakra. Bring in that divine feminine fucking power. Bring it in. All right? Okay. The card I got. You ain't fucking kidding me. The card I got for you today is Strength. And that talks all about bringing out our inner power. Not necessarily being pushy, but knowing ourselves and knowing that to heal, I need to start healing myself. Make that foundation for yourself, my love, and know that every step you take is a step of beauty and divine feminine and growth and strength and love and healing and all of those wonderful things. I hope that resonated with you, my darling. Okay. All right. You're welcome, Corey. Hello, Evergrove. Okay. Perfect. Good, writer bro. Happy, happy, happy. All right, Steph. You are next. I'd love a card for whatever. All right. I don't know if you have a little trip in mind, Steph, or not like necessarily like a trip like going on a plane or anything like that, but like a trip out into the wilderness, out into the green. The energy that I see around you right now, it's not even so much of, so solace, and what I'm seeing around you are just these massive evergreen trees, sun coming through the trees, but it's just green all around you. And that solitude, that it brings you that feeling of just peace and calm. So definitely is telling me that if you're feeling a little out of sorts, if you're feeling a little wonky, things all over the place, it's time for you to get outside and go connect with those trees. There is a place that you are going to go, and it's quite beautiful, and you're just gonna sit there for a minute and be there. Just be there. The card that I got for you is the Six of Swords in reverse. Okay, so like when the word solace comes into play, you talk about the Six of Swords in reverse. The inner peace that you are looking for is only going to come with the expression of letting go, the expression of cutting cords. And for you, I believe that the cutting cords can only take play when you are in that peace and calm area, not just physically, but mentally as well, because it's work. you know, to do that cord cutting and releasing and mourning. It's fucking work. It's no joke. But when the Six of Swords comes in reverse to me, there's still that cord of mental. It's mental. That mental attachment. Okay. And you know, sometimes that's so hard to overcome, because when we have that mental stuff in there, you know, we think a certain way about ourselves. We feel a certain way about ourselves because of maybe something that somebody else said, you know. That's one of the things that you are holding on to, that I really, really, really would love to see you work on this shadow period, is allowing yourself that release, that especially that mental release, that mental connection to the power that somebody else has over you. Okay? So you can find your inner peace, and so you can move forward with a clear mind and a clear spirit. All right? I hope that resonates for you. Perfect. Good, Jersey girl. Okay, good. I'm glad that you enjoyed that. Okay. All right, Care Bear. Okay. Okay, good. Perfect. Awesome, everyone. All right. Let's see. Miss Carrie. Okay. All right, Miss Carrie. For you, the word misconception came into play. Now, what's really odd here is that it's coming into play in a couple different ways. So it's coming into play as like a misunderstanding, but it's also coming into play as like conception, conceiving, miscarriage, something like that. Okay. And with that, well, it could be, okay, it could be the birthing of the change, the birthing of the expression, the birthing of the communication that was trying to be put out into this universe, either was not put out the way that you wanted it to be birthed, or a kibosh was put on that. All right. And with that card, and this is why the conception part jumped in my head, is because we have the Nine of Swords here. And the Nine of Swords, do you see how much air is playing in these cards today? The Nine of Swords is representing not only nightmares, sleepless nights, anxiety, but it also represents female reproductive issues. And with misconception coming into play, maybe it's also time to go check in with the lady doctor if you haven't done that recently, and just make sure that everything's okay, especially if you've been feeling any kind of abdominal pain. Go and check in. So with you, it is misconception. Hold on. Okay, Ryder. We'll see you later, baby. With you, the word is misconception, and that can be taken those two different ways. All right? Okay. We'll draw an angel card at the end too, and I think that it will speak to you. All right. Perfect. All right, let's go see. I got one in the box. All right. All right, Runa, a card for the youngest. He's got some decisions that he needs to make. decisions with his 45-inch biceps. All right, let's see here. Okay. All right, so for him, first of all, I drew the 6 of Pentacles. And that 6 of, when you come to an even number in the tarot, it is a foundational aspect. All right. And so when the 6 of Pentacles comes in, this is not only foundational as, okay, this is another tier, but this is foundational as family foundational as well, physical aspects as well. And one of the things that that really needs to be brought into consideration here is return on investment. How much is the loss compared to how much would the gain be if he decided to physically work on the foundation that he's in right now, if you understand that? There has to be a balance there of give and take, but it needs to be one that really has to be thought out and worked out, like a pros and cons list and things like that. Is the decision going to be more gainful for him, or is the loss going to be too much for him? So think about it that way. And hold on. Okay. So weird. The word monarchy comes into play with him. And when the 6 of Pentacles comes into play too, like I said, it talks about that family as well. So, you have the monarch, you have the matriarch. Maybe it's about the grandfather, something coming into play with that as well. So check into that, all right? And remember, he has to really think about what would the gain be versus how hard would the loss be taken. Okay? All right. Okay, and I think that is my last question. Hopefully that resonates with you, my darling. So now I'm going to go ahead and draw an angel oracle card for the collective. I told you. All right, so the card today is Middle Path, and it says, embrace both sides. The middle path is the road to a balanced and more peaceful life. I shit you not with these cards. It's all about that gray. It's all about that balance. It's all about acknowledging the give and the take, the return on investment, the boundaries that need to be drawn within ourselves to say, you know what? No, I am entitled to this peace that I carry within me. And to do that, I have to do these certain things. And guess what? That's okay. I also encourage you to do that. That gray space, that space between above and below is a wonderful, wonderful space. It's a space that we see each area, respect each area, acknowledge and learn more about each area. And every time we do that, we infuse more and more with above and below, allowing ourselves just to flow in that between path. So, for this holiday, allow yourselves just to go with the flow. Allow yourselves, if something comes up, just allow it to come up. Don't let it upset you. Don't let it get you down. Just allow it to happen, because universe is taking us on a path. It's a path that we need to travel, and it is for our best and highest good. Just go with that flow and sit in the gray. All right? The circle is open. Oh, thank you for joining me. And by the way, I'll be doing full moon on the 29th on my Facebook group, Moon Tribe of the Old Tree. It's Cancer Moon. Please join. If you're not a member of the group, just ask to be one. Thank you all for joining me. I love all of you. Have an amazing holiday. The circle is open but unbroken until we meet again, my darlings. Blessings, blessings, blessings to all. Love you all. Bye.